My name is Christopher Penn, co-founder of TrustInsights.ai and a frequent speaker on the topic of artificial intelligence and marketing. And today we're talking with Critical Mention about AI and its applications to marketing. So we have 6 questions here. Let's go through these. Question number 1, as a successful entrepreneur, how do you think you bridge the gap between AI and marketing? Here's the thing about AI. When we talk about artificial intelligence, and very specifically about machine learning, it's like talking about statistics or math. AI isn't necessarily a thing. It is something that you use to make something else better. So when we're talking about AI and marketing, we're talking about the use of artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies to make marketing work better. So it's not something that you necessarily do, although it is technically its own academic discipline, and you can get degrees in it and all this stuff. But the key is to keep focused on your overall goals and strategy. What are you trying to do? Most of us are trying to make our marketing better and faster and cheaper. And if we can do any one of those things, we'll be in a better place. Well, artificial intelligence, of course, promises better, faster, cheaper. Acceleration of your results, accuracy of your results, automation of processes that, frankly, are not the best use of your time as a human. That's what AI does. It makes those things better. And so if we're talking about a gap between the idea of this advanced technology and today's marketing, there really is not a gap so much as how do you use this thing to make this better. It's like saying, how do I take this brand new thing, we'll call it a frying pan, and how do you use it to make sandwiches better? There are a whole bunch of different ways that you could use the tools to create better outcomes. So think about it that way. It's not this magical unicorn fairy dust thing. It's just another set of tools to make what you're already doing even better. Question 2. What do you think is the most important AI tool in marketing today? If we're talking about artificial intelligence and machine learning in terms of what does the average marketer already have access to? It's Google Analytics. Believe it or not, if you go in the upper right-hand corner of Google Analytics, there's a little insights button with a little blue swirl on it. And Google is already using machine learning technology to tell you, hey, something's unusual is happening. There's more visits to this page or fewer conversions yesterday or things like that. And it's a really good job for detecting anomalies and letting you know that something's up. And it does it for you. Right? That's the beauty of it. It doesn't require you to do anything other than pay attention when it pops up a little notification. For people who want to build with machine learning technologies, the 2 tools, the 2 languages that are sort of the bread and butter today are the programming language R, the letter R, and the programming language Python. These are where 99.9% of machine learning technologies deployed today are in one of these 2 languages, with Julia and Java and a few others in the mix as well. But those are sort of the tools now for larger enterprises that are looking for building a production pipeline. You definitely want to take a look at the IBM Watson system, which is Watson Studio for building your models, Watson Machine Learning for deploying your models, and then Watson OpenScale for verifying that your models are working correctly and that they're not doing something they shouldn't be. So depending on your perspective, you're either going to be using vendor tools that are made for you, you're going to be building stuff in open source, or you're going to be using a production system for the mid to large enterprises that is a bespoke system. Full disclosure, by the way, my company, Trust Insights, is an IBM registered business partner, so any transactions you make through us to IBM have a financial benefit for us. Got to disclose for the FTC regulations. Number 3, AI and machine learning have become an integral part of marketing in 2019. How do you see them both impacting marketing in the coming years? So again, acceleration, accuracy, and automation are the benefits that we should be getting now. We will be spending an inordinate amount of time and energy, particularly within social media marketing, using artificial intelligence to detect things that are fake, things that are wrong, things that are fabricated, and using AI to also help disambiguate all the noise, what actually matters. These are challenges that the tools are up to today but need more training data for. And there are also a whole bunch of additional tools that are in the market now that could be used by hostile actors to change or impact our marketing. And it could be everything from making a place like Facebook, for example, completely untrustworthy. I would say it probably is in some degrees already, to even influencing what we see in the news. Like, is this video using the deepfakes video alteration technology? Is that video trustworthy? Well, there's artificial intelligence that can help you decode, was this a manipulated video or not? And so there's kind of this interesting AI arms race about who has what technologies. For the marketer has to be focused on, how do I get to better, faster, cheaper? And there are so many good applications of AI that you can use today, like forecasting and predictive analysis and attribution analysis, that there are some great opportunities if you can get going sooner rather than later. Number 4, how do you think quantitative and qualitative analysis work together in marketing? They are synergistic. There's a fun $5 word and or a corporate buzzword. But most of the time, when we're doing research, we have to start with qualitative. When we don't even know what questions to ask, much less what to measure, we go and ask people. We listen. We have focus groups and customer advisory boards and surveys and all of these market research tools just to help us understand, what should we be talking about? Once we've done that, then we use quantitative tools. Again, surveys, analyses, all sorts of stuff to figure out, how big is this thing? How big is influencer marketing? How big is live video? All of this stuff. And as we do that, of course, we start to get more nuanced, and we go back to qualitative. Okay, when you say live video, what exactly do you mean? And so it's a virtuous cycle that keeps getting us to better and better answers. So qualitative and quantitative work together. Question 5. As an influencer, you've had quite an impact on those around you, especially on social media. What advice would you give to marketing professionals looking to expand their community on which social channels? Okay, so a couple things here. Number 1, when it comes to social, actually, frankly, when it comes to any form of marketing, what value are you giving? What are you providing? What are you giving without reservation? If the answer is nothing, I'm trying to generate leads, you're not going to have a good time, because people don't want to be sold to. People don't want to feel like they're being coerced into something. Your job, regardless of where you are on the spectrum of influence, as it were, is to provide value, to give value first, to prove your value, to earn the attention of the people that you're talking to. If you are not doing that, then nothing else matters, because people won't give you their attention. And with no attention, you can't do the rest of the marketing operations funnel, right? There's no leads because you can't get anyone to give you the time of day. So you've got to give value as probably the easiest and simplest way to get those eyeballs. And then what you do with them afterwards is standard marketing. So that's the place I would start. In terms of how you do that, there's a great book that Marcus Sheridan wrote called They Ask You Answer, which I actually literally took my daily video show called You Ask, I Answer, and answer people's questions, because, again, that's giving value instead of me saying, this is how it should be. It's like, what questions do you have? Somebody asked today, how can we prove the value of individual pieces of creative in a campaign? That's a great question. I wouldn't have thought to ask that question. I don't have to. I answer people's questions. So you should be looking to provide value to people in your interactions with them. The second thing, measure the living daylights out of everything you do, and then use analytics, use data science, use machine learning to figure out what's working, to use these different tools to identify what creates the outcomes you care about, which the natural segue then is have a goal, right? Have a goal. And being an influencer is not a goal, right? Being an influencer is a side effect, a byproduct. Generating results for a company is a goal. Improving your metrics is a goal if you want to keep your job or get promoted. So whatever it is, have a goal. And the last piece is a piece of advice that I really like from my former high school classmate, Gary Vaynerchuk. He and I were a year apart, amusingly, which is, when you give. When you sell. Don't do either one half-baked. So if you're going to give value, just give value without reservation. Don't worry about, am I going to get an inbound link for this, or am I going to get mentioned on social? Just give that value. When you sell, be bold about it. Say, hey, I want you to buy my new book, right? Or my sneaker, or whatever the ask is. But that way it's clear to people what it is you're doing. You don't have to, people aren't confused like, oh, what's the catch? No, most of the time you give, and then once you've earned enough attention and trust, then you sell. But you got to earn that first. Question 6. Do you have any insider tips for marketers you'd like to share that will enable them to make their campaigns more effective? Data cleanliness and data quality are the watchwords of the day. And here's why. Machine learning and artificial intelligence require great quality data. By definition, machine learning learns from data. If you feed it bad data, you're going to get a bad result. If you feed it biased data, you're going to get a biased result. So no matter what you do, you're going to get what you put into the machine. If your marketing data is garbage, you're going to build a garbage model and you're going to steer your company off the rails really, really quickly. And so the insider tip is to get to that data quality perspective, and that requires governance, which is probably marketing's least favorite word. Marketers do not like to be told to run marketing like the IT department runs themselves. But if you want the result, if you want to be able to use these new technologies to be impactful, you've got to have your house in order in advance. Without that, nothing else matters. So get your data in order. And then you can start looking at data science and machine learning, artificial intelligence, deep learning, all the cool stuff that you read about in the news every day. The only other thing I would say on terms of insider things, it's not insider, but it is important. And it is that a lot of people make the assumption that machine learning and AI are somehow magic, that things appear from whole cloth, brand new. The machines have just created stuff and it's magic. It's not magic, it's math. AI is based on statistics and probability, which become algorithms, which become machine learning techniques, which become deep learning techniques, which comprise the entirety of the AI spectrum. It's all math, which means that they can't do anything that they haven't been trained to do in some fashion or form from some type of training data. So do not assume that it's magic. It's not. And do not assume that the machines are right, because they're only as good as the data they've gotten. Hope that this was useful information for you. I look forward to talking with you soon. As always, please subscribe to the channels and stuff below. Want help solving your company's data, analytics, and digital marketing problems? Visit trustinsights.ai today and let us know how we can help you.